Hello everyone, my name is Lauren and welcome back to the channel. Today I would like to talk about something that I think is pretty important to the hobby, transporting your army to and from the game. This is my handy dandy carry case I got from Amazon. I'll link that down in the description if you want to check this one out. This has allowed me to transport any army, almost any army, very effectively. So let's get into it. Now, let's break this open. So this case right here opens up like that. I did have to assemble this. I believe it came with a small screwdriver. So you shouldn't need any tools. I have some tools lying around, but all right, let's pull this out. So this allows me to transport 2 Questoris Knights and 8 Armigers, but that's not all. It also allows me to carry the tape measure, my dice, my random assortment of gaming needs. In here we have several spin down d20s to track HP on, my knights. Pariah Nexus mission deck, 2 boxes of dice, and then my laser pointer. It also doubles as a dice tray, well, 2 dice trays. More often, I'm allowing other people to use these as I don't go anywhere without this, because if I don't have my deck, then we don't get to play. But I always carry my dice tray with me. All right, this is my army. So, like I said, this is 8 Armigers and 2 Questoris Knights. And it's not the perfect way to transport. I'll get that out of the way right now. This is far from the perfect way to transport. Now, what is the perfect way to transport? I don't know if perfect exists. Could you buy one of those rolling tool carts and transport your knights that way? Absolutely. I've seen some pretty cool stuff on Reddit of people posting those. I don't necessarily like that as having a big rolling tool cart to lug around with you, like it gets in the way. Yeah, it might double as a spot to sit, which I've heard is pretty nice. I actually sit on mine from time to time if there's no chair around and I'm tired from standing for the last 6 hours. So I will say right now, once I have all of my Armigers based, this method is not going to work nearly as well, as my method involves stacking some bases on top of each other. That's why I had this one on top, this one separated, and this one over on the tray that has the Questoris Knight. So this is what my carry case allows me to take. So if you're running an Immolator, an Assassin, Battle Sister Squad, Grey Knight Terminators, my Breachers are up top. I'm not gonna pull those down. It's not as easy to transport those. Now, granted, could it work? Absolutely it could work. I've done it before. I think I fit 2 Immolators, 1 Battle Sister Squad, and an Assassin. I don't remember what the rest of my list looked like, because I only did that one time. I'm not a fan of running any type of Imperial agents. I'm playing Imperial Knights because I love big, stompy robots, and I love Grey Knights. They are one of the 6 armies that I play. Same with Sisters. But it's just not the same as running these giant war machines across the battlefield, charging straight past enemy defenses and destroying everything in their path. There's just something very fun about that. Chaos Knights, I love Chaos Knights. I have a couple. I have 3 War Dogs. And I do plan on picking up whatever Battle Force box comes out upon Codex release, but we'll see what happens. In terms of transportation, I don't think I've had anything break off before. The top-mounted guns, I used to have an issue with them rubbing on the top because I used to want to space my trays out a little bit more, and that was also before I converted this one. Well, I'm still in the process of converting this over to a Sisters of Battle theme tonight. So I got the banners on there, as you can see, and the cherub. So This is no longer in the danger zone and it comes off anyways. Being able to take the arms off is very helpful in terms of transportation, as when you're trying to hit it. I always do Questoris Knight, and then I try to put one armiger here and one armiger here. And if there were arms on there, they would get in the way. Canis Rex's arms usually get in the way, but I usually have him facing this way. I'm now realizing that if I just didn't do that, then it would never have been a problem. So that's actually, that's good information. Put Canis Rex facing to the wall. Something to consider. I know magnetizing is the popular thing to do for knights. It might sound like heresy, but I don't enjoy magnetizing. That mostly just comes from inexperience. This is my only knight that I have magnetized. It's not that I regret doing it, I just wish that I put in more time and effort into the process, because the thermal cannon, it's not on there super strong. I like being able to pose my knights. Canis Rex has basically full range of motion, same with the Decimator. I like being able to do that because when I want to store them, or I want to, like, I can, he just put his hand behind his back. Look how polite that is. He has his hand behind his back. Canis Rex can just do that. If I tried to do that with this one, I would have to move like that, and so like I can do it. All right, I'm starting to lose my downsides here. If you guys want to see a video of me learning to magnetize properly, go ahead and drop a comment down below. I'm picking up a Valor Strike Lance box here in the next day, so I will have the opportunity to magnetize another knight. I still have bits from 2 Questoris Knight box left. This chain sword came from my first knight, which I have up on the shelf up there. I don't think that you can see him. I also don't really want to show him off, as it is one of my worst looking models, but that's how the hobby goes. Now let's talk price. This box right here, I believe cost me about $50. If not, I'll throw the price up on the screen to amend that. And honestly, it's some of the best money I've spent in the hobby, and I've spent a lot of money on the hobby. My Death Guard shelf is over there. My Death Guard shelf. I've spent a lot of money on this hobby, and the case is one of the best things I've purchased. Now, you could do the cardboard box method. I did that for a while. But at a certain point, you're just gonna want something more convenient. I carry my entire army with one hand. That way I don't have to do the whole prop the box against my chest so I can try to grab the door and squeeze in, try not to bump my elbow, because if I bump my elbow, my army box might tip over and all of my expensive models that I've painted might just fall out. And you know, all of mine, they're all plastic, but in case you're curious, yeah, these ones right here and the rest of the armigers and my Lancer, if they fell, they would probably shatter. Is my guess. That's just my guess. So it is very important to be able to safely transport your army. You don't want to be the one that has scratched up models because all of your stuff was just kind of falling around all over the place inside your case or your box or whatever it is you're carrying. Safely transporting your models is very important. Now, a part of that is going to come from magnetizing your bases. I don't like doing that because there's a lot of weight being put on it. Magnetizing your bases is very, very important. I magnetize as many bases as I can. I'm actually out of magnets right now and I need to go order some after I record this. I talked about Death Guard a second ago. Death Guard is the other army that I'm invested in almost the same way as I am with Imperial Knights. And I magnetize almost all of those bases. I think I have almost every single one magnetized. My more recent ones, I haven't magnetized yet. Like I said, I'm out of magnets. There was a period of time where I had 3 full trays in my case full of models for Death Guard, and I still needed to put more stuff in there. So what did I do? I put my Death Shroud Terminators, I put 6 of them upside down and just stuck them to the bottom of the tray. Being able to have that kind of flexibility, I cannot express in words how helpful that is. Not worrying if my models are gonna break during transport or if I have somewhere safe to put them. It's very freeing not having that worry anymore. Back in the day, I used to just stick all my stuff in a cardboard box, and it wasn't the best. I highly recommend upgrading to a case like one of these. Like I said, I'll put the link down below. There are more expensive options. This is just wood, and I'm pretty sure it's just particle board. So there are better options, but this one I've had no problems with. I've been using it for, I'd say about 7 or 8 months now, and it has been, like, it's got me through everything. It's gotten me through, I mean, dozens and dozens of games. I would say it's probably got me through about 75 games. So having that reliability has just been a weight off my shoulders. It's at the point now where I don't even remember that I used to stress about that. To conclude my video here, I would like to recommend that you take the time to get one of these cases. Warhammer is already an expensive hobby. The last thing you want is to worry about your models breaking. You're spending so much money and so much time on like buying, building, and painting these beautiful armies. Why not spend $50 to buy a case to make sure that your army is protected? I understand that it's not in everybody's budget to be able to just drop 50 bucks on something like this, but just remember that it's an investment. You're not spending $50 on a box. You're spending $50 on insurance to better protect your army that you care about so much. I have been Lauren. Thank you for watching.